Luciana had never liked the kitchen. From the time she was a child, the very thought of standing over a stove, sweating over bubbling pots, was an unbearable chore. Her mother would call her to learn the art of cooking, but Luciana always had an excuse. "It's too hot, too stressful, and I don't need it," she'd complain. She dreamed of a life filled with luxury, where she wouldn't have to deal with such mundane tasks. Years passed, and Luciana found herself at university, far from the kitchen she so despised. While at the university, she would always eat out. Money was never an issue to her because as the only child, she had inherited all her father's properties when he died of cardiac arrest 3 years earlier. At the university, she met Anthony, a charming, ambitious young man who swept her off her feet. He showered her with love, attention, and lavish dates. They would spend hours together, laughing, dreaming, and sharing their visions of the future. As their bond deepened, Anthony completed his National Youth Service, secured a job with a prestigious company, and soon after, proposed marriage. Their wedding was the event of the season, a beautiful ceremony that symbolized the beginning of a promising future together. But beneath the surface of joy and celebration lay an issue Anthony never saw coming. Barely a month into their marriage, tension crept in. As they settled into their new life, Luciana suggested they continue ordering takeout, as they'd done while dating.
"Honey, what would you like to eat?"
she asked.
"I'm about to place order for dinner,"
she added.
"What do you mean place order for dinner? You should cook. It's part of your duties as a wife. I can't be married and still order food."
Anthony yelled he had done that while they were in courtship. However, Anthony had different expectations. He insisted on home-cooked meals, something he had always envisioned as part of married life. Luciana, having never been skilled in the kitchen, reluctantly agreed. But each time she tried, her meals were met with Anthony's frustration.
"What rubbish is this?"
He would yell before throwing the food away in anger. Soon he started calling her names and blaming her for not knowing how to cook. Her heart broke with every insult, and the tears flowed endlessly. Anthony's love for her seemed to dwindle as he spent more and more time away from home, returning late or staying out for days. Luciana grew thin, the weight of her unhappiness and the strain of her failing marriage manifesting in her body. She no longer recognized herself, both physically and emotionally. Her once glowing beauty faded into a gaunt, neglected figure. She felt trapped, unloved, and unsure of how to fix the growing divide between her and Anthony. One morning, after Anthony had been away for a week, he returned home late in the night and went straight to bed. When he awoke the next morning, he was startled by the sight next to him. Luciana, lying there beside him, looked like a frail, aged woman, a shadow of her former self. She resembled a figure drained of life and joy. His heart sank, and for the first time, he truly saw the damage he had caused. In that moment, Anthony's conscience overwhelmed him. Tears flowed freely as he broke down beside her. "I'm so sorry," he wept. "I've hurt you so much. Please forgive me." Luciana, still weak and heartbroken, nodded. She forgave him, and together they resolved to heal their fractured marriage. Anthony, now filled with regret and a newfound determination to make things right, came up with a solution, enrolling Luciana in a catering school. Though hesitant at first, Luciana soon found joy in learning the art of cooking. The kitchen no longer felt like a place of burden but a space where she could create, experiment, and take pride in her work. Each dish she prepared became better than the last, and Anthony couldn't have been prouder. Their love rekindled as they shared meals together, laughing and reminiscing about their journey. Not long after, Luciana discovered she was pregnant. The news brought a renewed sense of purpose and excitement into their lives. 9 months later, they welcomed a beautiful baby girl into their home, a symbol of their love, perseverance, and the lessons they'd learned. From that moment on, their family thrived. Luciana had transformed into a confident woman, one who had embraced her past struggles and turned them into strengths. Together, they lived happily, having found their way back to love, with the kitchen becoming the very heart of their home.